Today's broadcast comes from this very modest part of my balcony. The reason why is because it's so noisy in Spain. It's probably the only place where there's not much going on. So this is what we're going to do this week's Ask Guillem. The first question comes from Alan Cooper, and he says, what do you know of Bryan Gil at Sevilla? As he got his first assist for the team, for the first team last night, and from the bits I've seen, he looks like an incredible talent. How good he'd be? And I'll link that with Tom Adishcott question, what are the standout youngsters in La Liga? I made a little list for you, and let's see if you agree. But with Bryan first, he's seen as a spark, as a beautiful kind of talent, a jewel, that's the word that I was looking for, a jewel of the cantera, of the quarry of Sevilla. And interestingly enough, he makes his debut at 17 for Sevilla, so they see that he's not a talent for the future, it's for the now. And every time he played, I think he either made his debut or one of the early games was against Barcelona. He wanted the ball, he demanded the ball, he tried to do things. He perhaps still tries to do too much when he's got the ball, the dribbling, and perhaps should deliver it much easier and much earlier. But the thing with him is that he actually has got enough talent to go 1v1, and that's what made him into the first team. Not many players of that quality at 17, 18 that can actually just do it as well at the senior side. So they expect lots of very good things for him. He's a guy that I've been told he's got the head in the right place, and which is on top of the shoulders. But you know what I'm trying to say. He just basically is a very balanced young guy who's doing the right things and respects authority, respects the club, and will remain there for a while he establishes himself as a regular into the first team. The other youngsters I'm thinking of, is some of them are big names already. Carlos Aleñá, for instance, it's been suggested that he may actually go, if the Ligt comes, he may actually go on loan to Ajax. It's something that Barcelona don't see with bad eyes, but Aleñá, I think he feels like he's ready to make an impact into the first team. He's already, I think he's 23 if I'm not mistaken, so he's actually deserves to be given the confidence, the necessary confidence to grow into the first team. He's got the quality to belong, to stay there. Fran Beltran, who was at Rayo of course, and now he's at Celta, is a midfielder that's got a lot of quality. If I'm not mistaken, he's 19 and he still have got lots to learn, but a lot of personality, great centre midfielder, regular with the national sides of course. Pedro Porro, who I think he's made his debut with the under-21s just recently. He's a full-back that goes forward, defends well, and has come through the quarry of Girona. Ferran Torres of Valencia, we spoke about him in the past, and he is considered certainly a first teamer, even though he doesn't start every single game. But he did do at the weekend, missed a chance at the beginning, but again, a lot of quality. Because he's a number 10, perhaps his best position, he's gonna have to get used to play wide, and we'll chat about that, about number 10s in today's football in a minute. Bryce Mendez is another number 10, if you like, a lot of quality with his left foot, and who is making an impact as well at Celta. Riqui Puig is one that everybody expects a lot of at Barcelona, perhaps the next big thing to come through the ranks, and even though he's very small, and it's got a touch of Iniesta, if you like, but he's been up and down, 17-18, that's where he's been this season, and he's been up and down in the B side as well. Has played some games with the first team in the Catalunya Cup, and I think in the Copa del Rey as well. Samu Chukwueze, again, very important to Villarreal. Made an impact at the beginning, then disappeared. He's come back into the side now. You would say that he will start the big games. He has to, and he's direct. He's got a lot of quality. He can score goals as well, and he's not faced about playing at the senior level. And Javi Sanchez is a centre back of Real Madrid that Solari made his debut, gave him his debut this season, and won't see him much for the next year or so, but it's somebody that you have to keep an eye on. So those will be some of the talented players in La Liga, young players in La Liga. Football Index Trader is saying there will be plenty of interest in your view on the big La Liga transfer speculation. Could you share any insights into some of the big possible transfer possibilities? Bale, Coutinho, Griezmann, Isco, any others? These general questions. I prefer questions that actually deal with situations that you've heard or that I can add to, but these general questions anyway. Bale, basically he doesn't want to leave, but quite clearly Real Madrid are opening the door to him, and they do that by putting a lot of pressure via the media, which then becomes whistles by the fans. They started whistling in minute 3 at the weekend, and there was big whistling even more 2 minutes later, minute 5. So they lost patience with him, but it is all a part, as Jonathan Barnes says, part of a campaign to make sure that actually he, I was just checking if it was being filmed, that he feels the obligation, or he feels pushed out of the club. At the moment he doesn't want to leave, but we will see. And of course the important thing is who will pay £70 million for a 30-year-old whose net wages are about 12 million euros. A lot of money to put on somebody who's 30. Coutinho, I said it all along, and now I think he's confirmed that himself. He doesn't want to leave. Barcelona don't want to let him go. Griezmann, that's an interesting one, of course, because even though Atletico Madrid are saying 1,000,000%, that's what the last words from the chairman of Atletico Madrid has said, he's definitely not leaving. It's not in their hands, because if somebody comes for 120 million euros, well, then Atletico Madrid won't be able to do anything. Are Barcelona interested? This moves on every day. The plan was no need of Griezmann, but now they're leaving the door a little bit open by saying, right now, not interested. But in the future, you never know. That is also a way of putting pressure to Luka Jovic, who has to decide soon if he wants to come to Barcelona. If he does, then he'll have to put pressure to enter Frankfurt, who's demanding 80 million euros for him. Barcelona willing to pay about 40 million euros. So still a big separation, but if he feels that Barcelona may go for Griezmann, perhaps everybody enter Frankfurt and Luka Jovic will put the price down. Barcelona is saying for Griezmann, not right now, but in the future, you never know. The future could be in a month's time, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Isco wants to stay at Real Madrid, and the Zidane, that's something that may happen. He hasn't got a big market out there. City never interested, and the Pep Guardiola never interested in him. Arsenal not interested in him either, which is another club that's been linked to him. Stanford says, where do you see Paulo Dybala playing his football next season? I see him at Juventus. He's been put a price tag of 100 million when he actually is not even a regular in the lineup at Juventus, in and out of the side, doesn't always make impacts in the team in the game as he should. So I see him staying at Juventus. Andy P says, will Manchester United go all in for Koulibaly? Absolutely they will. Will they get him? Well, Ancelotti's saying he's not going anywhere, but we know that for the right price, Napoli will sell. He is one of the top centre-backs in the world right now, so I'm not surprised that Manchester United will try to get him. Cobra Khan says, any news on Callum Hudson-Odoi to Bayern? Is there a chance that will happen this summer, or the Chelsea transfer ban has put a stop to it? Well, Hudson-Odoi is still thinking of leaving Chelsea, but Chelsea don't want to let him go. I believe there is no buyer clause for him, and of course this transfer ban may all be suspended. That's what Chelsea is hoping for, as it has happened in the past, say for instance with Barcelona, gets suspended and then gets applied later on in the following transfer window. If that's the case, that will be one that Hudson-Odoi may just take advantage of, but Chelsea don't want to let him go. This is one that will depend on so much on the situation of the transfer ban. So again, we'll keep an eye on it. Vesko Trajovic, very interesting question. Do you see reduced significance of a classic number 10 in modern football as a possible reason for the likes of James Rodriguez and Mesut Özil not playing to the full potential? Two different situations. James Rodriguez can play wide and has played wide and has been scoring from those positions. But yes, I know what you say, he likes to play between the lines. The problem is, wide players do play between the lines in a more reduced space, not through the centre, but still, if you've got the ability to go 1v1, and James Rodriguez has, and enough pace, and James Rodriguez has, he can actually play as a number 10, but from wide positions, because yes, the number 10 position for a while has disappeared from football. 4-4-2, 4-3-3, even 4-2-3-1, perhaps a little bit more, but generally the formations don't allow number 10s to roam around the place. But say for instance Betis in Canales. Canales has been is the modern number 10, if you like. Where does he play? All over the park. He fills gaps when he has to defend, but when he attacks, he does it with freedom, and everybody adapts to him. If there is somebody of that quality that has got enough influence with the side, everybody can adapt to that. And the movement of the players means that it's all that makes it difficult to defend. But Mesut Ozil is a different situation. If he doesn't train well, he will never play every game for Arsenal. When he plays for Arsenal, as he did against Everton, doesn't always is as influential as his football and his quality should have. And is that because of his position? I don't believe so. I think if you actually ask him to do a job with the ball, he should do it, and doesn't do it. So it doesn't matter where he plays. It was the case of Zidane, for instance, when he was at Madrid. He is another classic number 10, started on the left and felt very comfortable coming inside, allowing the likes of Roberto Carlos to attack his flank. So as long as you've got quality, you can adapt to whatever football throws at you these days. And that's it. We're going to leave it there. It's time to do a little bit of work for my paper. AS they asking for a preview of the Manchester United-Barcelona game. And what else? I have to obviously go to La Liga TV, etc. So busy day Mondays, and I'll leave it here. So I'll talk to you next week. Some more Ask Guillems being demanded from Sunday, and expect the quality that I'm getting. It's good, actually. Bye.